Well, hello there, everyone. Hopefully, this finds you doing well on this Tuesday, November the 9th in the year 2021. Excuse me. Yeah, it's bright and early here, nice and sunny outside, warming up here in South Florida. Hopefully, this finds you doing great. I'm going to talk a little bit about financial freedom, try to do it in a nutshell. Okay, and I'll tell you briefly how I did it. I spent less than I made. I can remember back, even in the Navy when I was young, I started saving money. And I was standing in line one day to cash a paycheck. We got paid with paper paychecks. We had to go stand in line to cash it. And I was, I don't know, three, four, five, six people deep in the line. And the clerk up there, it was on a Navy base, so it wasn't a bank, said something like, "Hey, does anyone here have a check for less than $200?" And I was kind of shy back then, but I kind of looked behind me, looked ahead. No one was raising their hand. I was like, and she said, "Come on up." And I walked up and I cashed my check. It was like 160, 170. It would have been, we got paid twice a month. And as I was walking out, one of my coworkers was there and like, "Why is your check so low?" And we talked about it later, and I said, because I'm having money taken out to go into a savings account, not into investments, but into a savings account. Okay. I saved money up. I think I was taking out maybe $100 paycheck, something like that. And I was young, I was single. But I would spend whatever I got. I had a motorcycle. I went out partying. I'd go out dancing, drinking, and whatnot. And I might get paid and have maybe $100. And there was times when my $100 was gone, and I still had a few more days till payday. And I'd be eating in the galley because we get free food. The military would feed you, because a lot of times I would eat wherever, but I would eat in the galley for free, and I'd wait till the next paycheck. So I was living paycheck to paycheck, but I was saving money. It's either $50 paycheck, I think probably $50 paycheck, $100 a month is what I did. And it was in 1988, 89, 88, I think. Like, I took a trip from the country of Panama down to Peru. I went to Lima, Cusco, Machu Picchu, I'm sorry. And I spent a week there. I flew out on Christmas Day, came back on New Year's Eve. A Navy buddy did it. I had the cash to pay for that trip. How did I have that cash? Because most of my peers they heard about this trip and they said they couldn't afford to go. And how did I have the cash to pay for it? I was saving money. I was frugal, living below my means. Okay. Fast forward to the late 90s, early 2000s. I had gotten out of the Navy. I was a police officer. I had a young family. I had a new house. It was an older house, had an old car. But as the years started rolling on, different things would happen. I remember parents of my kids' friends talking to me one day, because my kids were doing very good in school. And they talked to me about pulling my kids out of the school and putting them in a private school where their kids were. And I was just like, "What's that cost?" And they told me, and I was like, And they said, "Well, your kids will do so much better here in the private school." Can't afford it. And my kids went on. They went to governor's school. They got free rides to college to the United States Coast Guard Academy for both of them. Okay, that same parent, their kids, I think they became partiers, and I don't know what they're doing in life right now. Okay, but my peers in the police work, I had comments a couple times, not a lot, but a couple times over my 20-year career about, "Mazske, why don't you get a newer vehicle to drive? Why are you driving such an old thing?" And I was like, "I can't afford it." But yet I'd look around. The missus and I would talk sometimes like, how does everyone have more money than us? How is everyone driving newer cars? How is everyone, they're upgrading their houses? How are they doing that? And then somewhere along the way, I read the book, The Millionaire Next Door. And I was telling her, it's like, a lot of those people, they got to be in a lot of debt. They just have to be, that are buying this stuff. If they work with me and they're driving this is going back, say, 10 years ago, but they're driving a $50,000 pickup truck. And I'm like driving a car that's 12 to 15 years old. How are they affording it? And I know how they afforded it. They got loans. They got mortgages for their nice houses. They got loans for their nice vehicles. Most of my peers in police work, they're still working. There were officers that were old when I was hired that are still working. There are other officers that were hired with me that are still working. There are officers who were hired before me, retired maybe about the same time I did, and they're working a different job. Why are they working? Is it because they all love to work? No, they need more money because our pensions aren't the greatest. They need more money. Okay? So how did I do it? I've talked about different videos. I watched a video just earlier with Michael Zuber and Dana Riley. I think he's an estate attorney. And they're talking about a good defense and good offense. As a kid, I grew up a fan of the Baltimore Orioles and the Baltimore Colts. Orioles in particular, I watched, good pitching and good defense would beat a good offense. In football, the Baltimore Ravens in 1999, 2000, they had a poor offense, but they had the best defense, and they went on to the Super Bowl. A good defense can shut down a good offense. Okay, it's the same with living life, with our finances. If you can live defensively, I made mistakes financially throughout my life. I bought a house that needed too much work, and I didn't have any money to fix it up. That was probably a mistake, but I made it work over the years. Okay, but it took a long time. All right, but I look around, I see people when they're young, they get a job, they go buy a new car. Maybe it's not a brand new car, but they get a newer car. I see people in jobs get promoted. They get a new vehicle. I see people that they're doing okay, they get a promotion, and they live in a decent house, but they move up to a better house. Okay? We all got to make a decision, because I hear there's another YouTuber who I don't watch too much anymore, but she'll say stuff like, you got to balance living life with your finances. And I agree with that. You got to live life. But I think sometimes there's people, their perspective of living life is too much. They spend too much. Where if they look at if they can back away, look a little bit, I dare say any of you watching this, and I don't know who you are, I don't know where you work at, okay? But I dare say any of you that are working a job, and not just at McDonald's, but working a better job, if you want a better lifestyle in 10 years, pull your belt tight today, learn to cut expenses today, and you will probably have a good chance of being financially free in 10 years. Okay? 10 years. Some of you can do it in 5 years. It took me 20 years. I started pulling my belt tight at around age 30, and it took me to age 50. Okay? But I did it. And now I'm growing my wealth exponentially as time goes on. Okay? Because I was frugal. I lived below my means. I did it when I was 19, 20 years old in the Navy. I did it when I was in my 30s and my 40s as a cop. I still live below my means right now. I want more money left at the end of the month than I have when I began the month. And that's hard to do sometimes when I'm in a brand new area with a brand new house and a brand new mortgage. And we have to, when you move to a new house, you need some things to get your house fixed up. So we're trying to balance spending that money with everything because we want to have more money at the end of the month than we had at the beginning. Plus, I got a bunch of rental property. I want to make sure I got money to fix problems when they occur. Okay? So, I've said this many times, but if I can do it, I was a blue-collar worker. I was enlisted in the Navy. I was a police officer. I got promoted to a higher rank, and I turned it down. Okay? I got like little, they call them specialist promotions. But I was promoted in my police department, we had corporal, we had sergeant. And then we had like lieutenant and chief or something like that back in the day. I was promoted to corporal, which was, in some police departments, that would be a sergeant, okay? I turned it down because I was investing in stocks. I knew, yes, I wanted a pay raise, but I was happy with what I was doing. I knew that would create new stress and it would take me in a direction I didn't want to go. So I turned it down. How many of you have turned down a promotion? Most individuals love getting a promotion because they can increase their spending. I will challenge you to cut some expense. Whoever you are, just figure it out. It could be in your eating habits, your daily latte, your daily coffee, your donuts, your lunch out. It could be in the vehicle you drive. It could be in the house you live in. Can you sell your house and move in and buy a duplex or triplex and let your tenants pay your mortgage? Can you sell your newer vehicle and drive an older vehicle? It's individual decisions. We all have to figure it out, okay? So I'm going to wrap this up and sign off. So take care, stay safe, and do become financially free. Mazske is signing out.